get yourself educated. Make sure you know what's going on out there. And please, status quo, no more.
Status quo has got to go! Status quo has got to go! Status quo has got to go!
Hey folks, my name is John Motter. I'm on the board of the About-Face Veterans Against the War, and I organize locally here with Ground Game LA. Honestly, I don't really have the energy to give like a rousing speech. It's been like a really stressful week for a lot of us. But I do want to give people some tangible actions they can take out of this. This is good, this is great, this is a great first step, marches and rallies and everything. But it's going to take more than this to stop a war. It's going to take civil disobedience, it's going to take direct action.
All right.
Divestment. And so what I need everyone here to do is to organize, commit to organizing outside of this.
When did you first organize this?
I received a call from Move On a couple days ago.
And how long did it take you to get everything organized here?
Well, luckily Move On's an organization that provides a great deal of it, along with the speech, and they help to push it out. We've had a coalition of About-Face, which is Iraq veterans. We've had Indivisible get on board. Win Without War got on board. We're really lucky right now because it isn't just Move On making it, everybody's contributing. So in just a matter of a few days, we had a full thing ready to go.
Well, I don't know how many of you are even on my Facebook, so this is fantastic. It doesn't have to be a scary thing, but when they give the call, you must stand up. I was in Paris for the Paris Climate Agreement. I was in the blue zone with the UN, and I got to be part in my life for something that I knew was going to be in a history book that some other high school kid was going to have to read about. I lived that bit. But then when I was overseas looking at the news during the primaries, which was happening during the Paris Climate Agreement, all I saw was Trump. I couldn't understand the French dubbing. It was very difficult. But he got all the news. Just like he does now. He sucks the air out of the room. Yes, he does. And my mother, my sweet mother, in Missoula, Montana, laughed and said, honey, nobody's going to take him seriously. And a lot of Americans felt that way. Not maliciously. They just didn't get to the polls realizing how dangerous it was. And the post that I wrote that day from Paris about how dangerous a person is, that is an anti-Semite, that has Islamic phobic tendencies. And don't doubt I know what the KKK is like, because unfortunately in Montana, they leave their literature, typos and all. So I tell you now, it's not about us here. It's about us organizing those difficult conversations with our friends. It's not polite to talk politics. Fuck politeness! I'm sorry, Mom. She's in the back. I'm so sorry. I started getting into the National Women's Political Caucus. Yeah. Because there were some issues that were really important to me, like my reproductive rights. I mean, I can cross my legs, but that's not a form of birth control. And when my evangelical auntie asked my Iranian husband about abortion rights and women's reproductive rights in Iran, you know what he said? Since 1977.
Yep.
So we can do better. And we're going to do better by being the change.
Yep.
What does democracy look like?
This is what democracy looks like!
And we should be out in the streets every weekend. Look at the French. They're still doing the yellow vest. Yeah. Whoever doesn't have the yellow vest, get one at Home Depot, get one on Amazon. Actually, don't even get it on Amazon.
Yeah!
Woo! I want you to do the yellow vest. It's up to us. Yeah, hell yeah, hell yes.
What's up? Come on, girl. I crown you with the yellow vest.
Yeah.
And anytime you marshal at one of these gatherings, guess what? You get a yellow vest.
So get on the streets every weekend, yellow vests. We need to show them that we are not afraid, and I'm not going to go to war. I am not going to see my family go to war. I have a fucking nephew that is in the Navy, and I'm scared. scared to death. He is barely 21. So you know what? I do not want this war. It is up to us. So get your goddamn yellow vest and fuck the cops.
The only way we are going to stay out of this war until the bigger issues are solved, those being money and politics, Citizens United. As long as Lockheed Martin and Halliburton and Raytheon and Boeing are able to buy and sell our politicians in a way that we never could, all we have is our voices. We live in a republic, not a democracy. All we can vote for is our representatives. And if our representatives are in the pocketbooks of the corporations who are profiting from war, all we can do is wage our own war of attrition on the streets. All we can do is endlessly be out here speaking out against Citizens United, against endless wars. That's the only way.
I would also just encourage you, if there's any Iranian or Iraqi Americans that know what it's like over there for people living under bombs, etc., being kidnapped at night, and you're maybe nervous about coming up here, I encourage you to come up and share what that's like. I'm fortunate that a lot of the young people in Iraq that started protesting peacefully on October 1st of last year are still hanging in there. Unbelievably, they're still choosing peace. They're still choosing not to use violence. They're still rejecting sectarianism, even though they're being killed with snipers and military-grade gas canisters and all sorts of terrible things. So I just wanted them to know that you give a shit. Because they think people don't. They tell me in all the messages they think they don't. So if you would, I don't know, maybe just shout out, here they are.
The president's supposed to have advisors. They're supposed to be experienced. They're supposed to stop him when he does crazy things. We don't have a real director of national intelligence. We don't have a deputy director. We don't have a real secretary of the Navy. We have all these people who are acting. They haven't been confirmed, and they don't stand up to him. So when people tell you that, like, this is not really different than, like, every president does shady things with national security, this is not the same. And you have to tell people because they don't know. Because again, we're far from DC and you don't have time to keep up with this shit. But people need to know that he should have people stopping him, and they're not there to do it. So we have to do it.
4.5 years, I was drafted, I was sent to Korea. And I fought in Korea. I saw tens of thousands of Koreans dead, tens of thousands of American soldiers dead. One thing I have to say to you, for my service in Korea, I got post-traumatic stress disorder. That's what I got. Post-traumatic stress disorder. I can't even walk, and I'm a veteran. I want to tell you there are tens of thousands of homeless veterans everywhere. I see them everywhere. Yes. Homeless veterans. They have no job, no money, no health care, nothing on the street. Disgrace. If Trump wants to unleash a war against Iran, he should lead the troops. All of these warmongers should go and lead the troops. Yes. No war. No war on Iraq. No war on Iran. No war anywhere. The assassination of that man, Soleiman, was an act of war.
That's right.
A terrorist act. No war. 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 No war.
Every time I turn on TV and I see a commercial for the Wounded Warriors, this Wounded Warrior thing, we're sending these young men and they're coming back in wheelchairs, unable to move, unable to speak, and you see their poor parents who have to take care of these boys and women too, who come back wounded like this, And there's absolutely no reason for it. It shouldn't be happening, and it sickens me to see it. And I know where it comes from, and how it's starting, and that bastard in the White House is also responsible. Keep it going. And somebody's got to stop this. We've got to stop bringing home. I understand the wounded warrior thing, and I'm sympathetic, but when I look at it, I go, it's unnecessary. It shouldn't be happening.
I'm of Iranian descent, and I have cousins who have also suffered. They're in Iran now, and they're fighting against the Islamic Republic. The Islamic Republic is very repressive, and they don't want to be under their control anymore. But a bloody war with the United States, you know, we've been destabilizing that region little by little for 20-something years. You know, if you look at a map of Iran and then you look at Iraq is to the left of it, and Afghanistan's to the right, and Syria's. I mean, we've been slowly, you know, and there's oil there. My dad's family, they're from a nomadic tribe. They're a famous tribe. They're called the Gashgai, and they led a resistance against the British. They led a resistance against the Soviet Union. They led a resistance against the CIA, you know, overthrow of Mossadegh, and then now they're leading a resistance against the Islamic crazy fanatic republic, and they're nomads. They're like Native Americans of Iran. And they've been pushed off their land. There's oil there. You know, it's oil. It's the same thing over and over and over. And it's our job to educate people. Like the Zapatistas said, the goal is to convince, not to destroy.
I'm half Iranian. My dad's from Iran, and I kind of came on behalf of my Iranian family. This has been a really devastating time. My dad hasn't been able to sleep for a few days, and we're all pretty down, terrified. But one thing I wanted to say, because everyone's been so inspiring, and I don't know if I can impart much wisdom, but as an artist and a filmmaker myself, I would implore any of you who are in the arts, who aren't necessarily on the ground activists, to use your power, your influence, your art for good. I think people forget sometimes, or at least I forget when I don't feel like I've been doing enough activist work because I'm more of an artist in my nature, the power of humanism and empathy. And as artists, we have the power to generate empathy and represent ourselves and one another. And so whether it's what you represent in your art, who you hire to work alongside you, using your platform for good in your art, in your social media, etc., really makes a difference, even if it doesn't feel like it does. As a Iranian American, I don't want to see another movie about Middle Eastern terrorists or not as human beings. I want to see better representation of multi-dimensional people.
As we wrap up our evening, can I ask everyone to come with your signs, as we can stand all together and take one great shot as a unified force for change.
No more